She said, today I had an aha moment. She was doing module 2. She was watching Stacy's advice on the modules. And then she got to Alex's video about forgetting the frickin' sign. He left the sign, which was part of art department, and they needed it for a shot. And he's in New York City, and he left it in his apartment. He's on his way. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be early today. I'm so excited. I mean, he's always early. And he's like, oh no, I forgot the sign back in my apartment. Holy shit. This is her shift. Ooh, this is so damn good. Ooh. Okay. There was a huge shift for me because I realized that Alex was talking about the seasoned director in his video who came around and praised him for his great work. And this is what it's all about, doing great work. See, we shift from try to get them to remember us, try to get them to like us, try to get something, trying to get. It's like that desperate energy to doing great work. Now, I know this is like, okay, is that obvious? Yeah. However, when I was starting off, I was not doing that. I was trying to convince, trying to maybe kiss ass. It would come across a kissing ass, trying to get them to remember me, start up conversations. And what I need to do is do my job. So that's another thing I always tell you guys. Do your job. Don't forget, do your job. That's what they're hiring you for. That's how they're going to decide that they're going to want to work with you again. Because they're going to see you and make one little impression on you when you do your job. Now, when you do your job, you're smiley, you're thoughtful, you're paying attention also what's going on, You're not just walking, oh, I'm in a hurry, walk right through the back of the shot or something, You slow down in your mind, you do your job, you're in a great state. This is why we talk about state so much. And you're part of this film crew, contributing, a very important part of this film crew, doing great work. It's about doing great work, great art. She says, I'm finally seeing the collaborative effort that she saw working in theater. I know that is a wonderful feeling to be with these people all together doing something. There's not that much money involved. I mean, what money they got, it's like, we got to save all this money because this has got to last us. And we got to put this show on with what we got. So that's super cool. That gets everybody together. Now, a film set's not really so much like that. It's like, we got to get this stuff shot in time so that we all work again. So, but it's still a collaborative effort, Art department has to work with this department. Now, you might sometimes see departments kind of like not thinking about each other. And, that's not that good. We need to be thinking about each other. So this is just part of get a factor, watch, listen, So total perfect mindset. This is about mindset, right? This whole thing, how you are, how you do your job, how you think about this job, how you think about this determines whether you're going to be super successful or always feel like you're kind of scratching your way in. How you think about yourself and your job and what's possible for you. You think of yourself as a peon, you will have that peon energy. You think of yourself as doing great work and contributing something great, oh yes, now you're attracting and you're at that mental level of like the directors and the producers. We're doing great work, We're fortunate to be able to be here and have the budgets we've got to shoot this thing, which is great for all of our careers. This is the way that they're thinking. They're not thinking, how can I get? They probably did when they started off, but still that doesn't mean that they're going to understand that energy coming from you because they've moved beyond it. She says, I no longer feel like I'm an outsider trying to break in, but instead I'm somebody who wants to make great entertainment and serve the work. Just the best attitude ever. That's just, And it just really frees us up and puts us in the right mindset. That's what's so beautiful about it. I've begun to translate this to the audition process for theater as well. She's still auditioning for theater. I've seen it come through on 2 audition occasions. She's like, I'm coming in with this energy, doing great work, and it just gives me a different way to perform. And it's working. Yes. Feeling for myself for the first time, I can do this. How important is that energy? I can do this. There are other people doing it. It's everywhere. There's other people that are getting this work. I can do this, especially with this mindset that I have. She says, I'm seeing in this program how we build the magic list. We build on small actions and successes to meet people. Yes, small actions, setting yourself up with that get it factor, starting to get out there and meet some people, starting to know how to find the stuff and find the people and get out there and ease your way in and be able to open your mouth and have some of these conversations and be able to practice relaxing about it and how you present yourself, and now seeing how that lands on people really well. And you're like, oh, wow, this is great. I can do this. I can do this. I'm meant for this. If the most important thing is having a great life, and that's what it is pretty much for all of us, the most important thing is having a great life, then we can have a great life. You can travel doing camera, helping out with wardrobe, and then you come back and you act in the city that you're in. And then you can go off and you can work as an art director assistant. You can work as a producer's assistant. You can work in the camera department. You can work in sound. Now you're probably going to have maybe a couple of departments your first year, while you see what you love. But then you'll probably choose one because people are going to keep calling you for that again and again and again. That's awesome. You start making some major money then, good money. So she's like, it isn't just hurry up and get somewhere. Very valuable. That's how we feel, right? As actors, we're like, oh my God, I got to land this thing. I got to get going. I'm getting older every year. I got to prove to my family. Everybody's waiting to see me on camera. I got to get somewhere, and then just nothing happens, like she says here. With that mindset that she's had for the last 4 years, you end up not doing quality, meaningful work. Oh my God, this is coming from the head, isn't it? Right? It's like, what the hell? It's coming from our head. Like we're trying so hard, but we can't produce. It's so frustrating. It's so ridiculous. But what else is there other than the head? We got the body, but the head's directing it all. Performing out of desperation. I got to get this one. And we don't get looked at anyway. Now, not always is that the case. However, she's just talking about the shift in mindset. As you're on these sets, and you're on sets every week, you will lose the fear of acting, auditioning, this whole thing. You'll really start to lose that fear, because you'll walk in there and you'll be like, okay, let me do my thing. Okay, see you guys later. See you at lunch. See you tomorrow. See you next week. See you in 6 months. See you soon. Leave, go, work. Got another one. Come back in. Do your thing. You lose the fear because you really realize, especially when I'm talking to the actors, this is so like random, like the director wants somebody, producer, it's like whatever the director wants. But then there's somebody else that wants this other person because of this reason. The director's like, I don't really know. They're like, okay, but that's who we want. And they're like, okay. It's because of maybe a look. It's because of just a way they did an accent. It's so freaking random. Bonnie Gillespie says it all the time. Your job is to book the room, right? You've heard Bonnie say that? Not book the job. So you go in there, do a great job. This program, she says, is teaching me to slow down in the head, take your time, start investing in yourself, investing in people, make relationships, invest in your knowledge of the business, the technique of the craft, be watching the technique of the craft, watching the directing, talking to the actors, digging in, seeing what makes people good. Yeah, that's you. Not this quick, how can I get on a TV show? How can I get on a show? That's more desperate energy. She feels a difference in her thoughts, the way she approaches things. It seems impossible before. She's trying so hard, yet it seemed impossible. But the reality is, whatever you decide is the reality, you guys, is what it is for you. So be very careful what you decide is the reality. That's why we talk about limiting beliefs. See it as it is, not worse than it is. A lot of people see it as worse than it is. You know why they do that? They do that because it gives them a reason for why they're not at their goals yet that is outside of themselves. It's not them, it's outside of themselves. There's too many people that want to be in the business. The business is too cutthroat. They're seeing it as worse than it is. See it as it is, not worse than it is. That's rule number one. Rule number two is actually see it as better than it is. Now, we don't really know how it is anyway, so we're really creating how it is in our mind anyway, so we might as well see it as better than it is. Oh, there's all these people that would love to see my talent, that would love to work with me. There's all these people out there that are working, there's a lot of work happening, and I'm so excited to be in this work. And we put on rose-colored glasses, and we go out there, and we see the film industry that way. 12-hour day, I love it. Oh my God, being able to work with these people, great. You know, that guy, you know, maybe you work with somebody that's difficult. Oh, I love to work with people that are challenging because I can learn so much from them. I get to, you know, learn. Always see it as better than it is. What does that do? It just makes you like a freaking superstar, a rock star, you know? Okay, and then the third step is make it so. Make what you see the way that it is. Make it so.